once in my life I have someone who needs me, someone I needed so long. For once unafraid, I can go where life leads me. Somehow I know I'll be strong. For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I do. Oh, someone warm like you would make my dream come true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For once in my life, I won't let sorrow hurt me, not like it's hurt me before. For once I have something I know won't desert me. I'm not alone anymore. For once I can say, this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I know I have love, I can make it. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. Sorrow hurt me, not like it hurt me before. For once I have something I know won't desert me. I'm not alone anymore. For once I can say, this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I know I have love, I can make it. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. For once in my life, yeah, somebody that needs me. I don't want nobody always sitting around me and my man. I don't want nobody always sitting right there looking at me and that man. Be it my mother, my brother, or my sister. Would you believe I'll get up, put on some clothes, go out and help you find somebody for this help if I can. Yes, I will. Now, I don't mind company, because company's all right with me every once in a while. Yes, it is. I tell you, I don't mind company, because company's all right with me every once in a while. Yeah. Oh, when me and that man get to loving, I tell you, girls, I dig you, but I just don't have time to sit and tit-tat and smile. Don't send me no doctor filling me up with all of those pills. Got me a man named Dr. Feelgood. You know, yeah, that man takes care of all makes me feel real good.
If I gave you my love, I tell you what I do. I'd expect a whole lot of love out of you. You got to be good to me. I'm gonna be good to you. There's a whole lot of things you and I could do. Yeah. Baby. Yeah. What about the way you love me? And the way you squeeze me. Yeah. Yeah, you're simply beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. When you get right down to it. Oh. Baby, when you needed me, I was right there. Beside you, girl, that I care, baby, baby, baby. Hey, no, girl. Sometimes when you're feeling low, all you got to do is call me. I'm simply beautiful, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby, there's so many good things I could say about you, girl. I could say that I really,
running through my mind. Helpless like a baby. Since your disguise, I can't help but love you. It's getting better all the time. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it even if I could. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it, no. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it even if I could. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it, no. Love to run my fingers softly while you sigh. Love came and possessed you, bringing sparkles to your eyes, like a trip to heaven. Heaven is the prize, and I'm so glad I found you. Yeah, you're an angel in disguise. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it even if I could. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it, no. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it even if I could. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it, no.
What up, Marcus, man? How you doing, my brother? Good brother? You know what I'm saying? I'll find a new pie in the motherfucking house. See, you lucky my daddy was a noob, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm so glad I found you. Yeah, you're an angel in disguise. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it even if I could. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it, no.
What up, Go God? How you doing, brother?
If I wanted to, I wouldn't help it even if I could. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it, no. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it even if I could. I can't help it if I wanted to. Wouldn't help it, no, no. I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it even if I could. I can't help it if I wanted to. Wouldn't help it, no, no, no. Dun, 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 dun,
There's a fine line, baby, I'm on it. Yeah. There's a fine line between love and hate. You see, can't wait too late, but baby, I'm on
What
it.
up? What's up, Melly Man?
There's a fine line between love and hate. You see, can't wait too late, but baby, I'm on it. Can't worry about what a nigga think to see. That's liberation, and baby, I want it. Can't worry about what a another nigga think. Now that's liberation, and baby, I want it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. How many times I sit back and contemplate, I'm fresh off the thing, but I'm telling my story. My relationship with my folks is give and take, and I done took so much, not giving my glory. To have a choice to be who you want to be is left up to me, and my mama and them told me. I say to have a choice to be who you want to be is left up to me, and my mama and them told me. I'm so tired, been so long struggling, hopelessly settling for the day. I sacrifice every breath I breathe to make you believe I give my life away. Oh Lord, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. I feel like I walk most of the road on my own. All on my own. We alive, but we ain't living. That's why I'm giving until it's gone, cause I don't wanna be alone. I don't wanna be alone. I don't wanna be alone. If anything I can say, if I ain't ready, touch your soul, make it whole. It's safe for you and I. But I can feel it in the wind, beginning or the end. But people keep your head to the sky.
Shake that load off, 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 shake that load off.
Smoke in your face, you're a superstar. Niggas hang around cause of who you are. You get a lot of love cause of what you got. Say they happy for you, but they really not. Sell a lot of records and you roll the thin. Fall up in the spot, now you're losing friends. All you wanna do is give the world your heart. Record label try to make it compromise your art. You make $1 million, make $1 million more. First class fraud, treat you like a nigga pole. You wanna say wait, but you're scared to ask. Your world starts spinning and it's moving fast. Try to stay sane, it's the price of fame. Spending your life trying to numb the pain. You shake that load off and sing your song.
What up, Miss Sunday? How you doing?
You go on home.
I must admit, they planted a lot of things in the brains and the veins of my strain. Makes it hard to refrain from the host of cocaine, from them whores from the flame, from a post in the game. Makes it hard to maintain focus. Then from the Glock rounds and lockdowns and burials, the seeds that sow get devoured by the same locusts. Cause it's a hard road to hoe if your ass don't move and the rain don't fall. And the ground is dry, but the roots are strong, so some survive. To your surprise, now I voice their cries. You got more juice than Zeus, slinging lightning trying to frighten plains dwellers of the Serengeti, but get beheaded when you falsely dreaded. Melanin, silicone, and collagen injected. Dissecting my pride, who the one gonna get it started? We be the lion-hearted, without infanticide. It's like that red Sprite, you can't imagine. Unless you're looking at the canvas of life, not through the peephole of mortality. Single-minded mentality, getting over on loopholes, getting paid twofold on technicalities. Clicking your heels, scared to voice how you feel, packing steel. Picking cotton from the killing fields with no total. I don't think we in Kansas no more though. Midwest or dirty South, clean dress or dirty mouth. Whether robbing preachers or killing poor righteous teachers, you a scared demon. Shouldn't be allowed to spread semen. And your cowardly lines never define the jackals of Babel, running with they pack, tail between your legs, though the mane on your head say the story. As you downplay your glory, cackling, helping the shackling of your brethren happen, just by rapping. Libertad.
Shake your load out. All right, man, let me go start this thing, man. All right, man. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? How you doing? Good morning. Good Saturday morning, man. I've been, I've been actually doing some, having some conversations, man, on Skype at the same time, man. So that's cool. What's been kind of dragging me up. So, conversations about all kind of cool shit. So anyway, I wanted to, really talk about the police, man. Obviously, if you got to be a dummy if you don't know what's going on with the police right now and how they really have no chill. And I actually found a little 20-minute video. It's 20 minutes of corruption. And I was like, damn, man, I should show some people this shit, man. So you guys are in luck because you're the people that I'm showing this shit to. Right on. So hang on a second. Let's pull this shit up. Let's see. Here we go.
I got medical right here.
There's no reason to point a gun. There's no reason to point a gun. It's a car. Jesus Christ.
That bitch better be on safety. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you. Oh, you motherfucker. I had a fucking cigarette. Yo. Fuck. Motherfucker, shoot. Look at that, motherfucker. You fucking shot me, motherfucker. Ah, you motherfucker. Fucking bitch.
Up, bro.
I'm fucking out here bleeding. These niggas got me. Fuck, dude. What the fuck y'all did? You gonna shoot me again, nigga?
Press. I'm pressed. I am pressed. Okay, I'm down. Okay. I am pressed. Please. I was just sprayed in the face with pepper spray. Currently have my head on the ground.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
They're sighting us in, dude. Guys. enforced.
Don't shoot!
Whenever that curfew was made yesterday at 8 p.m. And we're still locking. But this is proof. Tonight. Let's go.
Literally just sitting there.
They're macing fucking innocent people right now. She's sitting right there and they're fucking macing her in the face.
Hello? You're a fucking pussy!
What the fuck?
You're good?
They're still macing her.
Get the fuck on! Get the fuck off! Fuck you again. What the fuck you gonna do, man?
He's not doing anything! He's in protest!
Get the fuck off! Go! Get out of here! Everybody move! Now!
Hey.
Hey, I need bodies! Back up! Everybody back up!
Hands up.
Back up behind me.
Nope.
Behind me. I got you. Behind me. Stop. Fuck off, come on!
Hey! What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. Hey, that's abuse! Officer, what's your name?
Back up! Everybody back up!
Grab your man, right?
That's abuse! He's not doing shit! Hey!
I got you.
This is your chance!
Stop.
Our seats!
He knows what they're doing when they're spraying with base. Look at that. Wow. Got his knee on his neck.
The police are pepper spraying peaceful fucking protesters. Yo, what the fuck? We're peaceful fucking
See that spray right there? See the spray?
Yo, fuck you!
I want y'all to notice that spray.
There's Nathan the fucking ass. Nathan the peaceful goddamn protester. Flash things are going off in the crowd.
I command you to immediately disperse. Everybody move westbound on 34th Street towards City Hall.
Look at this dude, man. Look how he got his swag like, yeah, I got a machine gun.
This is
to them. They're smiling. This is funny to them.
They're having a blast out
They have
here.
smiles on their faces. That guy thinks it's funny.
Why are you on that side?
Police officer.
These are cops right here destroying everything. You're gonna take the materials of us trying to peacefully protest. You are aggressive.
The police are taking the
You are aggressive. You guys are listening to this already.
Man, these guys is tripping, man. They asked the police to do this, man. That's so Brooklyn. That's so Brooklyn.
Dude, he just fucking drove his car into the grass to hit people. Holy shit! I got it!
Happening right now. Salt Lake City PD Rescue is just arriving here on the scene, also with a unit from West Valley City. Now, this is just in the area where this vehicle has been burning. You guys see it right here. Police officers starting to move some of the crowd. Sadly, a man was just knocked off his feet. Officer now helping him up. This is in the same area where right in front of the city library.
Images are striking,
making sure
Nicole.
that this guy is okay right now.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, shit, nigga. Oh, what the fuck? Bruh.
Okay.
Okay, well, you keep going and go where you got to go, and that's fine with us.
Okay.
We got plenty of time here.
Are you okay?
I'm getting shot. I'm getting
Katie, are you okay?
rubber bullets. It's okay. It's those pepper bullets. It's those
Are
pepper
they?
bullets. That
Who
just
are
shot
they
me in the
aiming
shin.
that at?
Nice shooting at the
At
photographer.
us, like directly at us. Directly.
Why
at
are they
us.
doing that?
He's shooting at our crew.
I
Do
don't
they
know.
not know
We're
that?
behind
Obviously,
their
they see the camera.
This is the four of us. We are one team. Just put us back where you want us. We are getting out of your way, so just let us know. And this is a scene here playing out in Minneapolis. This is part of the advanced police presence that we saw come over the course of really minutes when the local police showed up at the fire department, or with the fire department, I should say, on that building we showed you that was burning. This is among the state patrol unit that was advancing up the street, saying and scattering the protesters at that point for people to clear the area. And so we walked away. I'm sorry?
You're under arrest.
Okay. Do you mind
Whoa, whoa,
telling
whoa,
me
whoa.
why I'm under arrest, sir? Why am I under arrest, sir?
Officer's with CNN and he's on the air right now.
Okay.
You are arresting him live on CNN. We told you before that we are with CNN.
Okay. It's gonna be okay. It's okay. Give her some space. Give her some space.
That shit burns too, man. I got sprayed by it. I got sprayed like in the face one time, man. Right before a fight, man. I beat the shit out that dude, man.
Spray him?
I'm not here for nothing.
Huh?
I got a lot better shit to do. I'm here. I can be
What's
here
your
all day.
badge number, sir?
7412.
How about you? Did you shoot my brother too? You're all involved.
Are you? Shoot it! Fuck you! You shot a car with a pregnant woman in it! With fucking tear gas! Fuck you! Ain't going nowhere!
With tear gas.
Fuck you, bitches! Fuck, shoot it again! She's fucking pregnant! Shoot it again! Are you? There's a pregnant woman in the car!
Takes communication. It takes planning so that they can get there, and just the seriousness of trying to move around the city with all this.
You can't fucking do that!
All right.
Get out of here! Get your boys out of here now!
All right, I'm going.
Get out of here! Let's go!
Yo, hey!
That cop got charged with assault right there.
Get his badge number! Get his badge number!
And actually, where are you right now?
We are walking on Williams Street. This is where most of the demonstrators are going right now because of all of that tear gas and all of that commotion that continues to happen in that parking lot. So we are walking.
I wouldn't be doing this video, man, if I didn't get called over for 2 miles the other day by a cop. And I was going the speed limit, actually going under speed limit, man.
Down Williams Street over here. And can we talk to you? We know you're out here. What are you doing out here?
Protesting.
Guys, come to our shot. Come to our shot. Come to our shot. Come to our shot.
All right, what's
Watch
going
your
on?
back,
You see
Anna.
a police officer
Come to
there
our shot.
spraying, or it looks like something there is a confrontation.
Come to the shot.
Maybe
Come to the shot.
Is that a
Looks like a
taser?
taser.
Yeah, it looks like a taser.
All those cops were charged.
We did not
Hey,
see
are you
what
guys
led
under
up to
shot?
this.
Yes.
But clearly this young man behind the
Okay,
wheel
so
has been
just to give you a little
tased.
background, we were here on the scene. We turn around and we see several officers go up to the car and start breaking the glass. We're not sure what led up to this. There was a woman in the front passenger seat and a gentleman in the driver's seat. They're pulling him out now. A lot of now, of course, the crowd has caught on to what's happened. We have no idea what led to this. They flattened the tire, broke the glass to the car, and I hear what I believe to be a taser.
this. They just keep coming.
Oh, go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Get in.
Oh, God, that hurt.
Hey, I understand. Well, we worried about this. I understand. But we won't stand up for it. I understand. They get killed on the daily basis. Talk to me. I understand. How old are you? I'm tired of this. How old are you? I'm 45 years old. 45 and I'm 31. And I'm tired of
Dang, I'm
you.
45, man.
Generation than me and I.
I don't look like that, bro. He look old,
The older
man.
ones taking all this bullshit. Always hoping for a kumbaya fucking y'all. Come here. Always standing around for a kumbaya. Ain't nobody coming to protect us. We gotta start our own fucking life. I understand. But let me tell you something right here. This 16. He's 16. They gonna kill him next week. He's 16. What we gonna do? You tell me. What we gonna do? This ain't the way. Cause they ready to let loose. If the United States president say, if you loot, we shoot. You think doing this going on? I know it. It's doing this going on. But it's time to stand up. So at this point, I'm ready to die. But what's going on? Let me tell you something. That's the problem that we got. You see right now, it's gonna happen 10 years from now. And at 26, you're gonna be doing the same thing I'm doing. You understand that? 10 years. You're gonna be right here too. But he also got so what I need y'all to do right now at 16 is come up with a better way. Cause how we doing it, it ain't working.
He said 10 years
He
ago.
angry
10
at
years from now.
46. I'm angry at 31. You angry at 16. It's old, you understand me? Putting yourself in harm's way is not the way. No, it's not. You and another your counter.
All right, man. So, as you can see what's going on, man. This, I kind of played 20 minutes of the cops getting it in. And what I wanted to show y'all, another thing, is the cops use, routinely use tear gas. That's one of their their tools of control. And let me, you guys may have heard of the Geneva Protocol or Geneva Convention. It was actually something that happened after World War I, because there was such chemical war that was going on. This is where they kind of set the rules for war. Well, one of the rules for war is you're not supposed to be using asphyxiating poisons or other gases and of bacteriological methods of warfare. So again, asphyxiating, poisonous, or other gases. So when they use tear gas, which is the asphyxiating poisonous gas, they're literally breaking what would be considered a war crime. They're using weapons of war against people. These are weapons of war. Now, I love veterans, man. I love everything about veterans. I love the fact that they go serve our country. I love the fact that they, yeah, thank you, PM, PM 46646. I'm gonna put that up there. So I think, and this is something I've been saying, I talked to Mr. Black about this the other day. You guys may know Mr. Black. Check out his channel, Alan Walker, Mr. Black. He's a great dude, man. His YouTube channel, man, is fantastic, man. But we were talking the other day, man. I said that the police are automatically people who have lower self-control, lower impulse control. And there's people, if you have lower impulse control, if you're played, if you're in these positions of power, then the likelihood of you bullying people or pushing around using that lower impulse control to hurt people is going to be increased. And I think that, where I believe, and some studies believe, and I'll show it to you, that over time, that impulse control, the impulse control to lash out drops considerably. It's like the same thing would be, let's say if you're going on a diet, right? And you decide, I'm not going to eat brownies anymore. I'm not going to eat cookies. I'm not going to eat sugar. And when you stop eating sugar, the slightest thing somebody comes to you, it pushes you over the edge by the end of the day. You can start out the day with pretty strong willpower. By the end of the day, boom, you're gone. I liken it the same thing with the police. You know, they start out the day, they would start out the day well, man. Start out the day saying, hey, they're going to be totally in control. The day is going to be that day where they're going to have every good interaction. Every interaction they're going to have with somebody is going to be, they may start off the day positive. But by the end of the day, that impulse control has been lowered. And in situations like now where we have over unrest, where we see the police are really, they're taking a lot of time. They're on the job a lot more than what they would normally be on the job. We're going to continue to see these lashes out of these lashes of violence by the police. Does anybody else kind of see what I'm saying? See where I'm going with this? Thank you. Now check this out. This is another study about low self-control. Now this is just an article. It actually came out on my birthday in 2017. But this is an article, and this was in a peer-reviewed journal. And what we like to do whenever we cite something, we don't cite Wikipedia. We like to cite peer-reviewed articles. And peer-reviewed articles are reviewed by, like, say, by a group of our peers. So if you're a doctor, it's reviewed by other doctors and fact-checked. So this right here is an article, and it's going to be posted on my site, DarrenMarion.com, along with this YouTube video. And this goes into it talks about the state of depleted self-control resources has been termed ego depletion. Recent investigations have shown that exerting self-control reduces the ability to regulate behavior in a subsequent task, even when self-control tasks are different in nature, domain, or context. It was shown, for instance, that controlling the temptation to eat reduced the ability to regulate aggressive behavior when responding to negative comments by an experimenter. So it could be anything. So even if a police officer could start off the career being the most honorable, good, police officer of the best intentions, they will go over the edge. It's not a if, it's they will. It's something that will happen. This was in the Journal of Police and Criminal Psychology. So I believe that, rather than defunding the police departments, obviously, well, of course, there's no reason that they should have military grade weapons. Thank you, President Obama, for giving them the military grade weapons. But and thank you again, President Trump, for giving them even more military grade weapons. I hope you guys can hear the sarcasm in my voice. But I believe that rather than defunding the police departments, because we know that we do need to have code enforcement, and that's really to enforce the law that's written, but do it sensibly. The cops, man, shouldn't be on the force, man, more than 10 years. Right now they get 20 years and they're out, 20 years and they get their pension. They're qualified for a pension. I believe that if you're going to be a police officer, and if we're going to let somebody be this, we're going to give this person this right to say they get to have a gun, they get to have this piece of tin that allows them to kidnap, cage, and hold people for ransom, because that's what it is. That's what holding for bail is. That's what bond is. It's like they're kidnapping someone because you're innocent until proven guilty, putting them in a cage, and then holding them for ransom. That's bail. So because they kidnap and cage and they hold for ransom, they have the right power to do that. They should only be given that power for a limited amount of time. So they should, if you're a cop, man, that's honorable. Hey, man, that's cool. I got buddies that are cops, but they should only be cops for 10 years. Give them a pension after 10 years. Move them to another, away from the front-facing police force, from the beat. Cycle them out after 10 years. But they shouldn't be doing this longer than that, because that's what happens. This is what's going to happen. It's going to happen. This will continue to happen. See right here, though still in line with legal and institutional guidelines, exhibiting aggression too early in police-citizen encounters may impose costs for the officer at a later point. For instance, through an increased risk of the officer's physical integrity following a suspect resisting arrest. So their inhibition is going to drop. Well, the reason why I say 10 years, yeah, 20 and 50 years to be old. Yeah, 20 and 50 years, right? So 20 years, no, man, that's too long. That's too long to be able to kidnap, cage, and hold for ransom. Now, I would say after 10 years, that person, if they haven't built the problem-solving skills, the skills of deduction, to be able to move to a different aspect of law enforcement, then they need to be out of the game. So then there's always some sort of activity that's pushing them towards elevating the way that they move. That is some sort of career development. There you go, 7 to 10 with options to stay. But that option to stay is you move into something where you don't get a pistol. You don't get to just throw people. You don't get to move in like this. Mel says 20 to 50 years to be eligible for retirement in law enforcement. Seven to 10 with option to stay. But again, after that 10 years, you don't get to be where you're interacting with the public like that. I mean, it's the studies have shown that they're going to regress. And as long as we continue to do that, then we're going to continue to have these issues. Let me show you something that just happened, man, in Chicago. And then I got to roll, go get my workout on. So Chicago, as you know, we just had a bunch of unrest in Chicago as well. But this is what happened in a congressman's office during the looting. So there you go. Let me put it on.
You know who you are. You know what you did. Don't make us come find you. Come in, identify yourselves, but we will find you.
Tonight, these pictures are shaking up the Chicago Police Department. Officers on duty, relaxing, drinking coffee, some even helping themselves to something to eat during the recent protests. The surveillance video was captured in the early morning hours of June 1st as protests occurred throughout the city and within blocks of the lounging police, following the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. It all happened inside longtime Congressman Bobby Rush's campaign office. People broke into the office, but once they were gone, 13 officers sat and lounged inside for as long as 5 hours.
One was asleep on my couch at my campaign office. One had his head down on the desk. One was on his cell phone. They even had the unmitigated gall to go and make coffee for themselves and to pop popcorn, my popcorn, in my microwave.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot and the city's top cops say these pictures betray the work of other officers. Tonight, while investigators work to identify the officers, the police issued a statement which in part says, at the request of Chicago Police Superintendent David O'Brown, an internal investigation has been opened into the police response and actions that took place from the late evening of May 31st, 2020 into June 1st, 2020 at Congressman Bobby Rush's campaign office. 3 of the officers seen in the video are wearing white shirts, indicating they are supervisors with the department. Tonight, the superintendent delivering a stern warning.
I'm not playing with you. That I mean what I say when I say we're going to hold you accountable and that your behavior reflects my leadership.
You believe
it reflects all of your leadership. Move, get out of the way, but we are going to uphold the nobility of this profession.
The mayor was already pushing for statewide licensing of police while seeking to rebuild trust in the Black community and is sure to cite this video moving forward.
And I can tell you one thing for certain. Not one of these officers will be allowed to hide behind the badge and go on and act like nothing ever happened. Not anymore. Not in my city, not in your city.
Don, we reached out to the police union, but they had nothing to say so far when we asked for a comment. But if you think about all the things that are going on in this city, and particularly how violent that night was, it's disturbing to sort of see everyone hanging out and chilling inside the congressman's office. Just think about this. The solve rate for homicide this year is below 20% in the city. So you can understand why people in the South and the West side, the sides that are hit particularly hard by violence, are upset when they see these images.
Just unbelievable. Ryan, listen, have the mayor or the commissioner, have they said what the punishment for these officers, what that might be?
Well, they said there's going to be some strong discipline. And let me not sugarcoat this at all, Don. It's been really tough the last few days. You had them come out and talk about how hard some of the officers were working, 12-hour shifts. They've been under siege at some points. But then there are instances like this, and there are others where officers have been disciplined that has sort of made a black eye on parts of the city, especially when it comes to policing. When we're having a national conversation about changing things, and when you think about Chicago in particular, and the way they're trying to reach out to the Black and brown community, you know this doesn't help.
And the mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, joins me now. Mayor, thanks so much for being with us.
How did this happen? Character, man.
You know, it's really quite mind-boggling. And it's almost impossible to believe that it's true, but yet we have 5 hours of videotape documenting exactly what happened. Earlier in the day, the looting started in a strip mall. The congressman's campaign office was broken into. And then in the early morning hours, these police officers apparently decided to help themselves. Started out with a small group and then grew over time to 13 officers, including 3 what we call white shirts, meaning 3 supervisors. It's one of the most disgraceful, disrespectful things that I've ever seen. And we are absolutely not going to tolerate it.
You know, regardless of the what may happen to each of these officers, just in general, one of the big questions about reforming police departments is disciplining, how officers are disciplined and whether or not they can be disciplined, what actually happens to them. How difficult is it? I mean, you said, this is, you're going to do something about this. What can you actually do? How difficult is it actually to discipline police officers?
Well, it's not difficult. They do have extraordinary due process rights, which is in and of itself a problem that we've got to fix. We've got to start by licensing police officers, and I called for that today. We've got to change state laws so that we have a baseline of conduct that's acceptable and that we eliminate the problem of so-called pass the trash, where an officer gets disgraced, gets fired, and then he just moves down the road to the next town. We've got to make sure that never becomes a possibility again. We've got to make sure that we really hit them where it hurts and make sure that if you have been convicted of a crime,
And you right this Sunday. One of the things that that really bothers me about the cops, and it really bothers me, is everybody has worked a job where they know for a fact somebody was no good at their job. Right? They know that John was just terrible. Well, it seems that in the world of police that they don't seem to work with people who are just incompetent. According to police, every officer is totally competent. Every officer is perfect. They don't make mistakes.
If you resign under investigation, you lose your pension. That should just be automatic. We have notorious police officers here, John Burge and others, who have done horrible things, cost the city literally hundreds of millions of dollars. And yet John Burge, one of the most notorious police torturers probably in the United States, he died collecting his pension. So it's all about the will and really seizing this moment to take on the police contracts and other things that are an impediment to reform and accountability. And I'm determined, in partnership and with people of goodwill in my city and my state, to use this moment as an opportunity to turn things around and really move in a completely different direction on policing.
Do you ever see or hear police unions policing themselves? Police unions saying, you know what, actually, here's a bad apple. We've identified a bad apple and we're concerned because it reflects badly on the rest of the police force?
No,
Has
it
that ever
happens
happened?
it happens so rarely. I have actually seen it when I worked for the police department back in the early 2000s, but it's very rare. Even today, literally, the officers were, through their various contacts, were trying to say, the congressman actually invited us in, and he's lying now. Bobby Rush is a former Black Panther. He didn't invite the police into his office. And the fact that they would even say that, and even assuming that was true, 5 hours when literally murder and mayhem is happening everywhere, police officers are getting the crap beaten out of them. There were 10 ones being called. That's an officer distress. And you take a siesta for 5 hours? That's outrageous. And the fact that even in this moment, as shameful as this contact is, there are people who are literally saying, making excuses and saying, we're being too harsh. No, no, no. We have not been too harsh. You can be supportive of people who do their job the right way and still hold the bad ones accountable. That's what has to happen.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right. Now I want you to see something else. Everybody knows that they say, man, cops, they have this, it's a dangerous job to be a police officer. It's a dangerous job. And I agree, it is a dangerous job, man, right? You have people, you deal with evil, you're fighting crime, you know, what society deems as something being illegal. You're fighting that. You're making that's your avocation of choice. But let's look at, I just found an article, and it was in USA Today, and it was talking about the 25 most dangerous jobs in America. Okay. This article was January 9th, 2018. So I'm sure that in this time period, man, that there's been a drastic change. But let's just look back in 2018, which was a couple years ago. What was considered the most dangerous jobs in America, right? So here we go. Let's view the full gallery. All right, man. So logging workers, that's number one. That's the most dangerous job in America. A fisherman, that's the second most dangerous job in America. An aircraft pilot or flight engineer, that's number three. A roofer, that's another dangerous job. That's the fourth most dangerous job. A trash man, refuse and recyclable material collectors. Okay, iron and steel workers. That's the 6th most dangerous job in America. Drivers, sales workers, and truck drivers. That's the 7th most dangerous job in America. Farmers and ranchers or other agricultural managers. That's number 8. Number 9 is first line supervisors of construction trades and extraction workers. That's number 9. Number 10, miscellaneous agricultural workers. Number 11, ground maintenance workers. That's the 11th most dangerous job in America. Number 12 is first line supervisors of mechanics, installers, and repairs. Number 13, construction workers. That's the 13th most dangerous job in America. Number 14, you see this, man? Number 14. That's the 14th most dangerous job in America. So we had 13 other jobs that people do on a daily basis that they don't get to walk around and throw people on the ground. The construction worker doesn't get to throw people on the ground, doesn't get to use biological weapons that are banned by the Geneva Convention on other citizens. Airline pilots don't get to do that. Fishermen don't get to do that. Roofers don't get to do that. Let's count it down, man. Construction workers, mechanics don't get to do that. Groundskeepers don't get to do that. Agriculture workers don't get to do that. Farmers don't get to do that. Ranchers don't get to do that. We see truck drivers don't get to do that. Iron and steel workers don't get to do that. Again, trash men don't get to do that. Roofers, aircraft pilots, fishermen, and loggers, they don't get to throw people on the ground. They don't get to spray people in the face with mace and tear gas. They don't get to do that. So we have people who are in a position or put in a position where, the impulse control is an issue, and they have it and have a strong likelihood to be aggressive or to aggress. And they get kudos for saying they work a dangerous job. Well, I think, man, I'd give more kudos at this point, man, to the roofer. He keeps rain out my house. I give more kudos to the truck driver because he keeps food in my refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? So here's the copy of the article. It's on my website about police officers aggressing early. Aggress more often than anyone else. And let me see. I'm going to put that in the link, put this link in the chat so you guys can go and read this article at your own leisure. And you feel free to print it out. And there you go. You can just read it right on my site, man. So there you go. I really thank y'all, man, for coming and chilling, hanging out, man. Hanging out with me this morning. Let's let's put this song on, man. Give me just a second. we're gonna leave out to this. Anybody got anything they want to kick in, man? Do I need to put the link out for anybody, man?
Oh, she may be weary. Them young girls, they do get weary wearing that same old shaggy dress. Yeah. But when she gets weary, try a little tenderness. Yeah. Oh, man, you know she's waiting, just anticipating for things that she'll never possess. Yeah. But while she's there waiting, and without them, try a little tenderness. That's all you gotta do. It's not just sentimental, no. She has her grief and care.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. But the soft words, they are spoke so gentle, yeah. It makes it easier to bear. Yeah. You won't regret it, no. Young girls, they don't forget it. Love is their home, happiness. Yeah. But it's all so easy. You gotta do is try.
Thank you so much.
Squeeze her, don't tease her, never leave her. Get to drop, don't lose her, no. You got to love her, tease her, squeeze her. You got to drop, man, drop, live. Yeah, what to do? You got to know what to do, man.
Something told me it was over. When I saw you and her talking, something deep down in my soul said, cry, girl. When I saw you and that girl walking down, ooh, I would rather go blind, boy, than to see you walk away from me, child. Ooh. So you see, I love you so much that I don't want to watch you leave me, babe. Most of all, I just don't just don't wanna be free. No. Ooh, ooh. I was just sitting there thinking of your kiss and your warm embrace. Yeah.